Hello you guys, it's William calling from Wiwibloggs. On September 11th, Steps, the 90s dance pop band with all that accessible choreography, Ian H., Claire, Lisa, Lee, and Faye, they released the new single What the Future Holds, which is also the title of their forthcoming album, which is out on November 27th. We wrote a post on Wiwibloggs naming 5 reasons we would love to see the band sing at the Eurovision Song Contest, and your comments, as ever, have left me laughing, LOLing, screaming, shrieking, just in awe of your creativity and your honesty. In any case, should we discuss 5 reasons I thought the group should go to Eurovision and then look at our readers' comments? Let's do this! You guys, as you know, BMG is working with the UK to choose an artist for Eurovision 2021. Last year, 2020, they chose James Newman, but sadly, because of the pandemic, he was not able to go. It is unclear at the moment if he will be internally selected again or if BMG will go with a different artist. The fact that the Steps are a BMG act and that they have a new album coming out at the end of November, giving them something to promote throughout the spring, suggests maybe they're in the running. I ain't trying to start no rumor, I'm just asking a question. What the future holds? Could it hold the Steps at Eurovision? One of my reasons was Steps don't play, they slay. I am referring to their comeback 3 years ago. They had been on hiatus for 5 years. Then they came back with the album Tears on the Dance Floor, their 5th studio album. This debuted at number 2 on the charts. There was an appetite domestically for them. Y'all, they for real stepped it up. They still had their chemistry, they still had their harmony, they still had their dance moves. That produced the killer single Scared of the Dark. Come on, baby, come and take me. Which leads me to point number 2. Euro fans love them. They actually won the OGAE Song Contest in 2018 with Scared of the Dark. This is, of course, the OGAE run contest where the various clubs choose a song to represent their country that's been released recently, and then all the clubs across Europe vote, and then there's a winner, and it was the Steps. Third point is that the time is right. They're gonna have an album out November 27th, which gives them material to promote throughout the spring and at Eurovision. Of course, some people say that's a bad idea. On Twitter, at Rio_Ben writes, not if all their new music is coming out before next March. No, that is a good point. He's suggesting you want some fresh music for Eurovision, but there is the possibility that there's a song they didn't put on their album. Maybe it stood out for some reason, maybe it didn't fit the themes on their album. Artists often save a really good song, either for a future album, or they just don't put it on an album and they release it as a single. So that is a possibility. Maybe they're hiding something up their sleeve. Also, can we just point out that Sia, yes, Australian Sia, helped write the title track on their new album, What the Future Holds. Tell me what the future holds. Tell me, baby. Also, an artist, when they have something to promote at Eurovision, they're often a bit more invested in the game. They're not just gonna, brush aside the pre-parties if we have any because of Corona. They're gonna go, they're gonna promote, they're gonna be happy doing it. Our next point is that this is not just some kind of fancy pipe dream. They've actually said that they've considered doing Eurovision in the past. In July 2019, Claire Richards talked with Bang Showbiz, and she said that the group often text each other about Eurovision and the fact that they could do it. But apparently she's the one who gets nervous. She added, I am always the one who goes, no, absolutely not. But then I watch it and think, well, we could do it. And my final point is that they support Eurovision artists already, y'all. They are not embarrassed by Eurovision. I'm not gonna name names, but there are artists who do Eurovision and they want nothing to do with it afterwards, and they're not even into it when they're doing it, but they love and respect Eurovision artists. They had Sarah Aalto, Finland, Eurovision 2018, joined them on their UK studio tour just shortly after she had competed at Eurovision. I mean, honestly, that is so sweet. And she actually told us in an interview at Cue the Music in London that the Steps knew all of her music and they were like humming along and singing along and were super supportive and had questions about Eurovision. So it's just really lovely to see. I'm enthusiastic, but a lot of you are not. Writing on the Wiwibloggs website, Brie Kimchi had this to say. This sounds like something the UK would do. This sounds like something Europe would expect the UK to do. But no, I don't think this is the direction the broadcaster should go if they are serious about doing well at the contest and would once again show that the UK have no clear plan whatsoever. Just my opinion. I mean, you could argue that if there's an album out and there's material to promote, there's a very clear plan and a path. I think we saw with Blue in the past that you can have a group that maybe were in their heyday earlier come back and do well. Blue actually placed 5th with the televote in the final. Sadly, they had a bad jury performance, which pulled them down. But just looking at the televote, it shows that acts from yesteryear can do well. I ain't talking about Bonnie Tyler or Engelbert Humperdinck, but you get my point. Jordan writes, they love Sarah Alto. Yeah, that's a realistic reason why this band should represent the UK. When talking about an artist, it's their talent that should be the decider on who goes to Eurovision, not how LGBT friendly they are. Yes, being LGBT friendly is a great thing, but it's not the main factor on a good song for Eurovision. Okay, so I see why he thought that's what I was going for, but I wasn't actually referring to the fact that Sarah Alto is a member of the LGBT community. I was more talking about the fact they just have no shame dealing with Eurovision artists. A lot of Eurovision artists have said that Eurovision can be a stigma after the fact, but clearly the Steps don't subscribe to that if they're welcoming a Eurovision artist into their fold. Jordan continues, if Steps actually did Eurovision, it would probably feel like Scooch all over again. We need someone who is going to be taken seriously with a song that would be at home in the UK charts. I'm still hopeful James Newman will get his chance next year. Now, I know that iTunes is not anywhere remotely the same as the charts, but the fact is, What the Future Holds did hit #1 on the UK iTunes chart almost immediately after it was released, and as we said earlier, Sia, a chart topper in her own right, did co-write it. So this isn't a Scooch situation because, Steps have proven they can climb the charts, and they've enlisted some top-notch talent. The fact that BMG is behind them, that's another selling point. Darren writes, the UK has sent pop bands and artists that have had their day before and it hasn't worked for them, even iconic names like Bonnie Tyler. I don't see how Steps could be any different. Being a famous name in the 90s isn't going to cut it at modern ESC. If the UK wants to send a well-known but not too well-known act to Eurovision, their best bet would be an act like Raksu or Mabel. Okay, copy and paste everything I said about Blue earlier, but I agree, Raksu or Mabel would be amazing. TG lacks the faith as well. He says, respectfully nothing against them personally, and they have a good repertoire, but I don't think they would end up changing the UK's fortunes. Us, with 3 S's, writes, Steps, Scared of the Dark, sounds like Double Trouble from the Eurovision movie. To be honest, don't know who they are. Maybe it's because I'm under 30, lol. But if Cascada didn't do too well, then ... She is glow, oh, 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 oh. She is glow, oh, 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 oh. Joe cuts to the point. 5 reasons to go and 5,000 not to. Thank you so much. Caddy points out that they have other connections to the world of Eurovision, more specifically Melodifestivalen. Writing, besides, they're covering Something in Your Eyes, which is in Melfest 2011 with Jenny Silver and was written by the same team as Denmark 2010. Oh, the more you know. Alex writes, Scared of the Dark is a bop and screamed Eurovision. It would have done amazing in 2017. Their new song is fine, but not as massive as Scared of the Dark. I think they would be up for EFC if BMG and BBC asked them to do it, but I am afraid that BBC will ask James again. I think Steps should do it if they have a hit like Scared of the Dark. Fingers crossed, it would be good promo for their new album and forthcoming tour. James writes, I'm conflicted. They do have good songs, but trade on the sense of nostalgia and feel a bit passé in terms of their sound. And though that attitude might have done well 10 to 15 years ago, the last decade has really pushed Eurovision towards more contemporary music, and it's that which we should be focusing on if we want to avoid dragging the contest backwards. Curiously, if you go over to our Instagram, the comments are much more positive. JMCPHL writes, this would be amazing. Listen up, UK. It will be a #tragedy to not send Steps to Eurovision. Loving the musical reference. Sharon Rose 5359 writes, 100% UK needs Steps. Adlena Poot writes, this would be too much for my little heart. I love Eurovision and I love Steps. I'd be nervous from today till the day they perform, even if that's 2022. Destiny 99900 is a bit more skeptical. She writes, I love Steps a lot. They are my favorite band ever. Therefore, nope. They deserve better than ending up in the bottom 5 because they are representing the UK. I am extremely happy that they are back together again to give us good music, and I want it to go on and on and on. I don't want them to be remembered for not doing well at Eurovision. They deserve better than that. So the assumption here seems to be that Steps would do poorly simply because they are from the UK. We should remember that Jade Ewan, she slayed. She came top 5. Blue came top 5 with the televote. Molly Smitten Downs had fans. So did Lucy Jones. But of course, there are some naysayers on Instagram as well. Matthew James Blakemore writes, no, ESC should be about discovering new talent. Fair point, many people take this line. Well, you guys, that is what people are saying on Wiwibloggs.com and on our Twitter and Instagram. I want to know what you think. Do you think that Steps could deliver a song to do well at Eurovision? Do you like their new single, their recent music? Are you hopeful for the new album and the possibility that it might have a banger on it? Let us know here on Wiwibloggs. Oh, also, let us know if you're still hoping James will go for the UK or if you prefer Steps. Just scribble it down below. In any case, more videos coming soon. Talk to you later. Bye!